A couple of switchbacks to get down to Stave Falls Dam. The dam is over 100 years old. As teenagers, when it got too hot in town, we swam here near the dam. There was a wood spar tree rigged up on a pier. This was used to load out the wood produced up the lake. The spar had a hay rack boom which swung out over the water, and two tongs were lowered to two men on the logs. They set the tongs, the log was hauled up and swung over and loaded on the truck. I thought this was cool. Everything was fast. It looked interesting, and even though I never worked on a hay rack, I later set tongs on a TL-15 for Whonnock Lumber at the head of Stave Lake. Can't swim here now, area is fenced off. I worked for Whonnock Lumber at the head of Stave Lake on the Stave River. A landing barge left from near the dam on Monday and brought us back on Friday. The company had a shake and shingle mill near where we left on the boat. The trees are left standing when they flooded the area behind the dam. The boat had to follow a channel, the original river, through the dead trees until he reached the original lake. One foggy morning, the skipper got lost and sailed into the standing dead trees. Had to wait until the fog burned off to get back to the channel. All those snags and dead trees have been removed since then. A movie was made here in 1989. We're No Angels, starring Robert De Niro, Sean Penn, and Demi Moore. A fake town was created near the dam. This is the Dewdney Slough, part of the Fraser River, heading for the site of Canfor Shingle Mill, Stave Lake Cedar. I worked here one winter just before I went to Mahata River. My job was block piler, stacking blocks that came up the conveyor and then also fed blocks to the shingle sawyers. Don't know what the site is used for now. This was a church at one time, now turned into a pub. Mount Baker. This was the site of the mill where the shakes we made on the Dead and Down claim were sold. Gone now. Still a few places for log storage and for feeding a mill. Here's a view from the 1970s. There were 3 shingle mills, a sawmill, and a chip plant. Here's a surviving shingle mill. Lost Creek Forest Service Road built to access British Columbia Forest Products timber, Millstream contractor. Worked for them for 4 months before I went back to Rainier and ended up in Holberg. No one working here currently. Now it must be small business program run by the Forest Service, logging 50 to 60-year-old trees. For 20 years, loggers had steady work in this area. Here's Lost Creek. If you want to visit the area, be aware that target practice may be happening in many areas. Hundreds, if not thousands, of shotgun shells in this one area, and closer to the road, rifle or maybe handgun cartridges.